Tonight at City Hall, the Huntsville City Council took up several big items, including a public hearing on the city's proposed 9th tax increment financing district, known as TIF 9, a $45 million funding package tied to U.S. Space Command, and a resolution honoring local music legend Microwave Dave. A TIF works by using future property tax growth in that area to help pay for development projects, in this case for a possible expansion of the Civic Center. Supporters say that could help Huntsville attract bigger conventions, more visitors, and more business for downtown shops and restaurants. Director of Urban and Economic Development Shane Davis says other Huntsville TIF districts were paid off sooner than expected.
The TIF district can go as long as 30 years by state law. We think it'll take about half that. So we believe the projects that we've selected, and once we get those deployed, the private investment that will react, whether that's new hotels, new office buildings, new mixed income, mixed use projects in and around the district.
But not everyone is sold on the idea. Some people say they'd rather see that money go toward public transportation or affordable housing, and others are raising concerns about how it would impact local schools. Huntsville City Schools Board member Andrea Alvarez says TIF districts may put a pause on future property tax growth that would otherwise go to schools, which she says could strain building and infrastructure needs as the city continues to grow. But Council President Jenny Robinson says the TIF will pay off in the end.
Whatever we do is going to positively impact the school system. This should, as every other TIF has done, it will increase the revenues that are available to the school system in the long run.
If approved at the county level, the TIF could be ready to move forward by June 15th, but it still needs final approval from both the Madison County Commission and City Council. The City Council is set to vote June 11th. City Council members also approved a $45 million funding package for U.S. Space Command and Redstone Arsenal.
We're providing funding to the state of Alabama for part of that, and the state is going to use that as an inducement to build housing for the upper level officers. And we're going to be using, our money is going to go toward, what you call land site preparation, making sure that there are, the proper foundations are needed for construction.
Of that total, $15 million would go towards senior leader housing for Space Command, while the remaining money would support infrastructure improvements. Also tonight, city leaders honored Huntsville music icon Microwave Dave, with several tributes recognizing his impact on the city's music community. Council members approved plans to rename a portion of Cleveland Avenue as Microwave Dave Way, and the downtown dog spot will also be renamed the Microwave Dave Dog Spot. A graduation celebration to honor his life and legacy is set for Sunday evening.
A brand new middle school is coming to Huntsville to help accommodate for the city's rapid growth. Huntsville Middle School will replace the old Huntsville Junior High School. It will accommodate up to 750 students in total and 10 classrooms per grade level for grades 6 through 8, a massive expansion from the school's current capacity. It'll cost about $62 million, and when completed, the old school will be torn down and replaced with athletic facilities.
The plans within this building allows us to not only house the current student body, but it gives us the opportunity for growth as well. This building will not only represent this community, but the whole Huntsville area, with the melting pot of students from the rich to the poor, from the black to the white, from the north to the south, east and west. This school will represent Huntsville City Schools and Huntsville, Alabama.
The new school is set to open in the fall of 2028, and nearby residents should be aware of the ongoing construction.
A former Madison City Schools substitute teacher arrested for having inappropriate contact with a student. An investigation between the Madison Police Department and Madison City Schools led to the arrest of J.B. Burt, who most recently worked at Heritage Elementary School. Burt faces a charge of a school employee having sexual contact with a student. Burt is held in the Madison County Jail on a $15,000 bond. Madison City School Superintendent Dr. Ed Nichols also confirmed Burt is prohibited from substitute teaching and from entering any Madison City Schools property. Meanwhile, a judge has set a preliminary hearing for this man, Guilford Kibler Jr. You'll recall he's also accused of engaging in illegal sexual contact with a student while serving as a teacher at Discovery Middle School in Madison. We should note there's no indication that the victim was a middle school student, just someone under the age of 19. The hearing is set for May 27th at Madison County District Court. Burt makes 4 Madison City School employees arrested for various crimes against children in the last 6 months. A startling number that has parents wondering what the school is doing to prevent this from happening again. City officials gathered this afternoon to discuss just that.
The children have a voice, and what's important is that when they have that voice, that adults believe them when things that are inappropriate happen.
A string of crimes against children have hit Madison City Schools this year. After the 4th arrest of a staff member in just 6 months, the Madison Police Department, Madison City School Superintendent Dr. Ed Nichols, and the National Child Advocacy Center gathered Thursday for a press conference to address the problem head on.
We have a system in place. The system worked exactly the way it was designed.
I'm a parent. I have a daughter. So when I look at every child, I look at them like my own. And I become as agitated as anyone.
Nichols says the partnership they have with the National Children's Advocacy Center is an important aspect to keeping students safe.
We help them understand healthy and unhealthy boundaries. We help them know how to speak up when something makes them feel uncomfortable. That's working. The children who've gone through this program, they're speaking up when they feel uncomfortable, and the adults are listening to them.
But Alabama Board of Education candidate Connie Spears says she believes schools need more oversight to stop these cases from happening.
I think that the biggest thing that we can do and we can improve on and continue to do in our schools is make sure that no child is ever by themselves with an adult. There's always a group, there's always multiple ways to see you're not in an enclosed area without visibility. Those types of things, those are additional layers of protection that we can have for our students.
Dr. Nichols stressed that one incident of child abuse is one too many, and city officials will work together to investigate and prosecute every single claim someone brings forward. A proposed new entrance into the village of Providence is sparking debate over traffic, safety, and the future character of the community. Some residents say they support adding a second way in and out of the neighborhood, but they don't want it routed through the heart of Providence. A neighbor-led request brought by District 5 Councilmember John Meredith is pushing the city to consider an entrance into Providence through Paramount Drive, instead of the original Highway 72 access plan. People who live in Providence say the new entrance plan could bring more traffic, and they want the city to go back to the original Highway 72 plan. The city's original plan included a right-in, right-out access point from Highway 72 through Hillcrest Avenue, with improvements designed to keep traffic on major roadways rather than through the center of the community. Residents say the community's pedestrian-friendly design is a big part of its appeal.
It's walkable, it's accessible, it's easy, it's very inviting.
Sam Bryan, a builder and current developer for future phases of the Village of Providence, says he opposes the Paramount extension, adding the current traffic plan for the Village of Providence was carefully designed with the city from the start of construction in 2013. He adds, quote, "Deviating that entrance and exit to the red light at Paramount invites a tremendous amount of traffic to cut through the town center and is not beneficial for the neighborhood." Bryan, along with many residents, say they are not against a second entrance, but worry a Paramount Drive connection could turn the area into a cut-through for drivers trying to avoid Highway 72 traffic.
You can see there's so much traffic coming in and out right now, so there is a need for an additional entrance into Providence, but there's just a concern about will people be using it as a shortcut that don't necessarily live in the neighborhood? How will that impact safety concerns, etc.?
A petition circulating through apartment complexes near the heart of Providence now has more than 140 signatures. Petition signer Fred Davey says most drivers do yield to pedestrians, but some still fail to stop.
The through traffic is pretty heavy, like Grand Central Station at certain times.
The petition has not yet been given to the city, and Huntsville officials say they do not have additional information at this time. Residents in Providence are expected to hold a town hall-style meeting on May 12th to discuss the proposed entrance plan and community concerns in greater detail.
The city of Fort Payne and the Alabama Department of Transportation are asking the public for feedback on potential changes to a major road that runs through downtown. A new study aims to fix some of the heavy traffic and dangerous road conditions that cause congestion in the downtown area surrounding the city's railroad tracks. Fox 54's Caleb Agual shows us what the city and state are doing to make Fort Payne's roads safer.
New changes could be coming to the roads in Fort Payne as officials look to fix some of the downtown congestion, and the Alabama Department of Transportation wants to hear your thoughts. As part of a $1 million study between the city of Fort Payne and ALDOT about potential renovations to Highway 35. Namely, they're looking to make exits safer, reroute heavy truck traffic from Highway 11, and create an overpass for the railroad crossing. And an informal meeting tonight is bringing residents' concerns to the spotlight, highlighting what they think the most important changes should be.
Congestion is important. Like I said, if you're traveling and you've got, 50 trucks cutting through the city trying to transport, again, traveling and being safe while doing it too.
The public feedback ALDOT gets will be included in the ongoing study and any future planning for the renovations. According to ALDOT, the study is designed to identify existing highway issues and explore options for transportation improvement.
From here, they'll take this information and use that to sort of refine further. Based on what comes out of this meeting, there could be potentially future meetings to gather further input or to look at something that may have been clarified a little further as a result of this meeting.
Mayor Brian Bain describes why renovating the highway and getting the feedback is critical.
The constant heavy truck traffic is what tears those, that road up and causes the big potholes in it. Our biggest concern is, Joe's truck stop, because we've lost lives there. And then, the potential of, more traffic coming through. Traffic does get stopped because of the train from time to time.
The funding for the study came from Robert Adderholt's office, but the city is still looking at options to pay for any renovations that might come out of the study. In Fort Payne, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
If you missed tonight's meeting, it's not too late. ALDOT says you can still look at the proposed changes and give your thoughts online. Tensions are growing in Muscle Shoals over the city's proposed Sportsplex project after city council members overruled Mayor Billy Hudson's veto to continue the project earlier this month. Questions are now swirling around transparency, project cost, and how the city is moving forward with the plan. On May 4th, the city council voted to allow the city to proceed with the purchase of 57 acres of land near the fairgrounds and current ball fields, property that could eventually be used for a large $90 million multi-use and recreation complex. But Mayor Hudson says the project shouldn't be the top priority right now, and this isn't the first disagreement. Look back in February, a heated argument erupted between the city council and Hudson over the firing of a city clerk following an internal investigation into the city's participation in a medical reimbursement program with a local insurance company. And now that divide is again drawing attention, this time over the city's proposed Sportsplex project. Fox 54's Valentina Chalala breaks down the divide.
Although City Council agrees the project could have a big impact on Muscle Shoals, there's still disagreement over whether the planning process has moved forward with enough financial and property review. One of the main debates is whether the city should have appraised the property before approving the purchase. Muscle Shoals Mayor Billy Hudson says an appraisal could have lowered the price the city pays for the land.
There was no appraisal done, and I do have a problem with that. And another problem I have is I was just completely left out of it. I have no idea that we were going to buy that land till we went into a meeting and they told me we're going to purchase this land for $2.7 million, and that's a little high for me.
While in a statement to Fox 54, Council President Donnie Lindley says the city had previously purchased nearby property that appraised for a higher value than the 57 acres in question. Another part of the disagreement centers on the project costs, with questions being raised about whether the city moved too far into planning before finalizing a budget after more than $1 million was spent on contractors and development work.
If and when the Sportsplex is done, we need to run it ourselves. We don't need to contract somebody out to run our Sportsplex.
Lindley also says the city has already taken steps to expand recreational space, including providing land to the school system with 3 fields and entering a lease agreement for additional baseball and softball fields near the airport. While Hudson adds he's not against the idea of a Sportsplex, but would rather see the city start with a smaller version of the project and expand later.
Again, that was our Valentina Chalala reporting. While differences remain over how the project should move forward, Lindley says he does not believe the mayor and council are as divided as some may think. Both Mayor Hudson and Council President Donnie Lindley say the differences of opinion are part of the process and that they believe city leaders can continue working together as discussions over the sportsplex move forward.
Welcome back. North Alabama residents laced up their sneakers for a mission that is quite literally life-saving. The 2026 Huntsville Heart Walk took over downtown, bringing together families, survivors, and local companies to raise awareness for heart disease and stroke. This year's event goes beyond the walk itself, with a strong focus on hands-only CPR training and hands-on participant-driven education. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell spoke to heart attack survivors about why early intervention and CPR training remain at the center of this year's efforts.
Red-filled Big Spring Park Saturday morning, a celebration of resilience and a mission to save more lives. The 2026 Huntsville Heart Walk isn't just a fundraiser. For survivors like David Warren, it's about protecting the next generation. Warren was just 35 years old when he suffered a heart attack. He says spreading awareness is vital because heart disease doesn't always look the way you expect.
My family, we have genetic predisposition to heart issues, and so I'm hoping that raising awareness and raising money for the American Heart Association will prevent them from having to go through the same thing in the future.
That focus on saving lives is shared by this year's Heart Walk chair, Evan Wagner. 5 years ago, Wagner's life changed in an instant while he was out for a run, a sudden cardiac arrest that nearly took his life. It's stories like this that fueled today's emphasis on CPR training. Wagner says he is living proof that intervention works.
My son went and got help. A neighbor called 911, started CPR. Sheriff's deputies showed up and continued CPR and then hooked me up to an AED and hit me with a couple of shots from the AED, and I eventually regained a pulse. So I am, I joke around, CPR is near and dear to my heart, both, literally and figuratively.
Whether it's funding research for genetic markers or ensuring more people know hands-only CPR, the thousands who gathered today are making sure that in Huntsville, no heart fights alone. In Huntsville, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
Organizers say as of today, over $450,000 was raised. The money raised will go to the American Heart Association. Ditto Landing is getting a new shine today as volunteers gathered for the annual Spring Cleanup Day. The event is a massive group effort in partnership with the YMCA, the City of Huntsville, and Operation Green Team. More than 100 volunteers spent their Saturday morning tackling everything from trash pickup to painting and striping parking lots. Organizers say this 10-year tradition is essential for transitioning the marina from the winter months to the busy season.
We clean up from the winter, so we're getting ready for the summer and to put our sparkle on. So we're ready for everyone to come out for the summer and enjoy Ditto Landing. We have people that come out year-round, of course, but when they come out during the summer, we get to really invite everyone that doesn't come out during the winter. So.
Now, spick and span, the marina is ready for the Summer Sunset Concert Series. That free event kicks off this Tuesday and runs the second Tuesday of every month through August.
Huntsville's annual after-school bash doesn't officially hit Big Spring Park until next month, but the work to support North Alabama's teachers is already well underway. Earlier this morning, Huntsville Police and Huntsville Parks and Recreation worked to put together cardboard boxes and colored pencils to support education. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell was at the Free to Teach warehouse to see how neighbors showing up for neighbors is making a difference before the first bell rings.
Today was about a different kind of protect and serve at the Free to Teach warehouse. While sirens were silent, the energy was high as officers and city staff lined the aisles to tackle a mountain of school supplies. HPD and Parks and Recreation joined forces to sort and prep donations, building packages for local STEM programs.
It's a great opportunity to reach out to the community and show that we do more than just patrol and enforce laws. We give back to the community. We work with these teachers. We want to support the students in the schools.
Free to Teach has grown from giving away $38,000 in supplies in 2011 to over $2 million just the school year alone, supporting 116 public schools across the area.
It helps them really focus their classroom budget and any funding that they do have. It helps with all of the little things that students use, pencils, paper, Kleenex, all of that stuff really adds up, and it actually really is the big things, not the little things.
Today's Warehouse Hustle is the official kickoff for the second annual after-school bash. Moment Free to Teach CEO Allison Kling says helps celebrate the year ending while looking toward the one ahead.
Our vision is really to equip teachers to make sure students in their classrooms have everything that they need. And so it really takes the energy of an entire community investing and giving back. So events like this are so powerful for us.
That community energy will move to Big Spring Park on June 6th. The bash will feature food trucks, music, and the Pack the Patrol Car drive. In Huntsville, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
If you couldn't make it out to help sort packages this morning, your chance to help is coming up. Every item dropped in a patrol car during the after-school bash will go directly to a local classroom. 46,000 Americans die from gun violence each year. That's according to the Giffords Law Center. And according to the Everytown organization, firearms are the leading cause of death for children and teens in the United States. One local organization founder has spent more than a decade educating people on the impact gun violence has after losing his own brother to gun violence.
The Jared Michael Lockett Foundation was created after my brother was shot and killed here in Huntsville. It was a tragic event, and I felt the need to speak out against gun violence.
The Jared M. Lockett Foundation is how Jared's legacy is remembered today. The program hones in on the impact gun violence has and provides further education.
It has a huge impact because a lot of people only see the moment, but they don't think about what happens after that happens. The trauma, the families, the community, the years and years of grief that people have to go through. Young people need to see themselves, love themselves, value themselves. I think it's extremely important that these young men know who they are.
The foundation has grown since its inception in 2013, including a mentorship program, uplifting young men to grow to be the best versions of themselves.
He was an incredible person. He smiled, he laughed, everybody loved him, he stayed in the church, and he loved kids. So the League of Legacy actually is made in his legacy and in his honor.
I've been with him for a couple of years, probably. A couple of years. I learned that weekly meetings, and we do different topics, important topics about today's world. As a young kid, I struggled. I couldn't regulate my emotions properly, so I would lash out and sometimes just take it out. Now, starting with this program, it's really helped me control myself, just needing somebody to look up to.
He has helped me a lot because I get nervous and stuff. I start rushing, and it stops me from doing stuff. And recently he helped me out with that, and it's like a real team building thing.
Justin Lockett says he hopes to see the League of Legacy program continue to grow, bringing more mentors in and creating more groups in other cities.
End of watch, March 24th, 1941. Billy Daly.
As the names of fallen officers were read aloud, friends, family, and strangers remembered those who gave it all. Earlier this evening, the Athens Police Department held their annual memorial service, honoring those who have fallen in the line of duty. The department looked to honor all who had fallen in Limestone County, not just the city of Athens, something Chief Anthony Presno told us was an easy choice.
That's very important to honor all, because like you just said, it's other agencies, and not just here, but within the nation, we need to remember all officers that have given the sacrifice. They signed up for a job. They went to work that morning expecting to come home that night, and they never made it home. So we need to remember the sacrifices these officers have made.
Chief Presnell adds he believes it's important to also honor family members of fallen officers and their legacy. You can watch the entire memorial ceremony on the Fox 54 app on demand. Download for free. Watch on your TV.
A moment of reflection filled the Morgan County Fallen Officers Memorial this morning as police officers, leaders, and family members gathered to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice. The ceremony offered 10 fallen officers whose service and sacrifice spans more than 80 years of local law enforcement history. Officers presented flowers and saluted as the names and circumstances of each death were read by Falkville Police Chief Aaron Burgess.
I'm excited to introduce you to this educator. She's described as kind and thoughtful and very involved with her second graders. And at this grade level, engagement really matters. Meet this week's Fox 54's top teacher, Brandy Booker from Hampton Cove Elementary School in Huntsville. For Brandy Booker.
All right, get your paper. Open your book back up.
Teaching second graders.
It's a treat.
She's been at Hampton Cove Elementary School for roughly 7 years. She's taught for a total of 18 years, but second grade is where she stayed.
Actually, I started in kindergarten, so I did 10 years in kindergarten. And then I went to pre-K and then first for 1 year, and then I was able to loop with one of my first grade classes. So I've been here in second since then.
Second grade is a critical grade level before third grade, a year of benchmark testing. So she knows engagement.
The kids love to work with each other, so we work in groups a lot.
Is what keeps students prepared. Engagement especially important in reading.
So we take turns reading each page of the book, and then they get to act it out at the end to make sure they comprehend what we just read. We like to draw out our lessons, and so we just have fun doing stuff like that. I believe it helps them retain the information for their test each week, and they do really well, so very proud of them.
Principal Dr. Lakita Perkins says it's Booker's pride that goes a long way.
So confidence is so important when you're learning to read, and in second grade we're still learning to read, and Ms. Booker does a wonderful job of teaching kids that you may not be able to do something yet, but that doesn't mean you won't be able to do it in the future. She's very motherly, and the kids just love her. They have a fantastic year.
And more than anything for Booker, watching her kids enjoy learning is what's most fulfilling.
Just like seeing them learn and grow and have fun while learning, so it's been real fun.
Congratulations, Mrs. Booker. Check out the moment she was surprised as a Fox 54 top teacher and her full interview on the Fox 54 app. Also, nominated teacher on fox54.com.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then, stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates, featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True Crime Warrior Style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look, to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.
Your wife is in a bar. You said she's unresponsive.
This is what he's going to tell you.
Trying to find the first place to put a body.
No, sir. The only thing they could do was kill him.
Be the jury and to find the defendant.
I remember standing at the doorway to Polly's room.
Dylan is a coward. He hid behind a gun.
I gave a call. No.
Coleman's been investigating a probable serial killer.
He was claiming responsibility for the attacks on Thomas Moser.
There's more to Fox 54 Plus with the Locked On Podcast Network. From the Tide to the Tigers, from college teams to pro, the Locked On Podcast Network gives you insights and analysis you just can't find anywhere else.
These kids, they want to play.
I don't think so. I think it was Chad Baker Mazzara.
Locked On Sports, streaming every day of the week and right here on Fox 54 Plus.